So I think that, I mean, we could talk for hours about the job market because there's just so much there.
Yeah.
But I would love to get your thoughts on kind of that next piece that we spoke about, which is investments. And, you know, that is another vehicle that a lot of people actually have seen success with.
Of course.
Some people have not seen success with it, but it's a very, when you think about income, lifestyle, wealth, and equity, taking ownership, I think that's something that comes to people's minds pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You know, investing, stocks. You mentioned cryptocurrency, which is a big deal these days, which, again, I don't really know anything about either. But do you want to talk a little bit more about that and maybe some of the pros and cons and what that looks like as a vehicle that someone might use?
Sure, yeah. You know, and go again, nothing bad or good about it, you know, but it depends on your risk tolerance, right? So for many, investing in the stock market or other kind of investments are reactive type of investments, right? Your 401k or your retirement funds are an example on that. You have a financial manager managing the assets, and you basically, what do? You kind of cross your finger and you're like, I hope this is going to work. So I think what frustrates people about that, especially if they're not a day trader or something like that, is the lack of control, right? Hope is not a strategy. So great to have a diversified portfolio, but I think what people want and are yearning for is a little bit more control, something that they can actually affect. So, could it be a good investment strategy? Sure, but it's passive versus active. The other investment strategies, right, talking about it being a little bit more hands-on, the one that comes to mind as opposed to the stock market would be real estate investments, right? But even there's so many different variations, right? So when you talk about risk tolerance and what people are doing, you've got the people who acquire an asset, maybe they want to flip a house, generate cash that way. And then you've got the long-term investors who maybe acquire assets, not so much so that they can flip the property around and then make some money, but to generate long-term cash flowing assets. So, even if we looked at all those investment vehicles, we could spend days unpacking most of them. But I would say for the most part, it's either risk or lack of control that makes people shy away from that, or maybe they do have those investment strategies, but it's just part of a diversified portfolio. It's not the thing that's going to be the way they spend 40 hours or 50 hours of the working week.